So originally I was going to make a video talking about the overall series of The Office, seeing how it's one of my favorite shows, but I pretty much shared the same opinion with everyone else that seasons 1 through 4 are really good, seasons 5 through 7 are not as good, but still pretty decent, and 8, 9 are garbage. But there's something I want to focus on because it's bugged me for a long time when watching this show, and it's something I haven't seen many other people talk about, and that's the show's issue of having the repetitive writing trope of the sympathetic adulterer, aka the homewreckers. Now, I'm not saying this trope is necessarily bad, but in The Office it was way overused. I have counted 11 points when The Office uses this writing trope, and there could be more. I could have missed some. First off, we have Jim trying to get with Pam while she's in a relationship, Pam trying to get with Jim while he's in a relationship, Dwight trying to get with Angela while she's in a relationship, Michael trying to get with Holly while she's in a relationship, Andy trying to get with Aaron while she's in a relationship, Oscar trying to get with the state senator while he's in a relationship, Daryl trying to get with Justine while she's in a relationship, Pete trying to get with Aaron while she's in a relationship, Toby trying to get with Pam while she's in a relationship, and Brian trying to get with Pam while she's in a relationship. Now, there are slight differences between each case. For example, in The Office, most of the time, the person trying to break up a relationship is seen as the hero. Sometimes it's played for laughs, and sometimes they're seen as the villain. Now, like I said before, this writing trope can be used for good, and it has been done in The Office before. For example, one of my favorite plot points in the show is Jim trying to get with Pam despite her being engaged. Now, two reasons why this worked is because this is the first time we're seeing this in the show, and secondly, Jim is played as the underdog against someone who's obviously not right for Pam. Something else that's important to note is that Roy wasn't flat out evil, like he was a real human being. Like there were points in the show that displayed why Roy is even with Pam in the first place, because he does have his good traits. Like there's a scene of him wrestling with Meredith's kid to show that he might be a good dad one day, and he also grows and appreciates her more. I'm glad they made him seem like a real character instead of a villain, because I want Jim to show that he deserves to be with Pam. So it's not a simple nice guy and bad guy situation. So the next time they do this trope, they switch the roles and have Pam try and get with Jim while he's in a relationship. Now, I kind of understand why they did this, so they could develop Pam as a character as well, but at the same time, they could have done something else to do that. Also, it's just not as good because we just saw it, and Karen, I feel like, was a pretty rational person. I mean, it seemed pretty fair for her to be in that relationship. She wasn't abusive or, mean-spirited towards Jim. I didn't really see any faults with her, so there really was no reason for me to root for Pam, and she just comes off as a homewrecker. Honestly, I feel bad for her because you also have Jim leading her on until he breaks her heart until late in their relationship. I don't know, to me it felt like Jim and Pam were the villains in that situation, but I guess since they're the main characters, we have to sympathize with them. I believe the next time this happens is Dwight trying to break up Angela and Andy. Season 4, I think we're saved from this repetitive trope, because this shit starts in season 5. I mean, it's the same trope and situation, except it's played for laughs and it's very exaggerated. Next we have Michael trying to get with Holly even though she's in a relationship with someone. And again, Holly is in a relationship with someone who doesn't really deserve to get broken up with. Our sympathy towards Michael is only reliant on the fact that he's the main character, and we're always supposed to side with him if the writers want us to. Again, there's no reason for me to want him to break up a relationship because it doesn't seem unhealthy, it's not toxic, it seems like a perfectly normal relationship. I mean, what if AJ was the main character of his own show? Would Michael still be portrayed as the hero there? Probably not. There's also a point in time when a character named Kathy comes in and tries to get with Jim while he's married to Pam. Not surprised, but I found it interesting that they have Kathy be portrayed as this evil homewrecker despite Jim technically doing the same thing she did in season 2. And at that point, we're supposed to be rooting for him. So back then it was okay, but now it's not because this girl's trying to break up Jim and Pam, my OTP. Honestly, half of the cast in the show is filled with cheating assholes and homewreckers, and it sucks that the writers of the show continued this very repetitive writing trope because it kind of ruined some of the characters for me. I mean, shit, Dwight tried to do this 2 times in the series. He broke up Andy and Angela, and he also broke up Angela and the state senator. And at the same time, Angela's trying to break up Dwight and this farm girl. It's just, they don't even attempt to do something new. And then of course you have the Aaron and what's his name, Plop. Yeah, because they repeated that trope for the 20th time, it completely ruined Andy's character. Oscar came off more as an asshole because he continued to date the state senator despite knowing he's already in a relationship. I thought Daryl was kind of scummy for trying to break up Justine with her boyfriend. I don't remember his name, but they tried to portray him as another Roy. You know, the first time we meet him, he's very aggressive, but he is for good reason, because he caught his girlfriend trying to get with Daryl, so I think he's justifiably upset. Roy was aggressive because he had anger issues. This guy is mad because his girlfriend is trying to get with someone else. That would probably set me off too. To be honest, the show's writing would have been a lot better if they just kept in the Jim and Pam stuff in season 1 and 2, and they can keep in Ryan trying to break up Kelly's relationship because those two people are supposed to be toxic, so it makes sense. Every other relationship that ends with people being broken up so they can end up with the right person, it just seems lazy.